unparalleled weather event not experienced in several decades.
I've never, ever seen it this much water here in Kernville.
And so we pulled crews in from all over the country to help us with this response.
If you need to evacuate, evacuate safely. Do not drive through moving water.
You know, wow, it's pretty bad.
Everyone needs to be ready.
Now, this is Eyewitness News at 11. We begin with the Weather Authority's severe weather alert.
First at 11, take this storm seriously. That warning coming tonight from local officials as Kern communities are underwater caused by flooding.
Yeah, people who live in those low-lying areas have been told to evacuate immediately. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Rochelle Murcia.
And I'm Michael Patterson. Rain, winds, and flooding hitting Kern County hard. And tonight we have team coverage. Chief Meteorologist Miles Musio is in the Weather Center bringing you up to date on current conditions.
And Celine Stevens is following the storm's power outage threat. But we first want to start with Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Molina, who is live along Highway 78 to tell us about the current weather conditions there. Leslie?
Rochelle and Michael, I'm right by Highway 178 where not a lot of activity continues to be seen. More cars seem to be leaving the area than going uphill. The only people we have seen going up the mountains are KCSO and Caltrans. We were actually up in Kernville a bit earlier today, and we spoke to a few residents that are concerned that these floods will cause damage to their properties. And we spoke to one business owner that's told us they have not been able to get their shipments into the area due to these floods. He owns a gas business in Woodford Heights, located just a few minutes away from Kernville. This Budweiser has also not been able to supply his liquor store in the area due to these floods. He told us he has never seen this happen before.
A lot of property damage, but thankfully the residents up there couldn't have done better. They heeded warnings. They were cooperative. They planned. We had no injuries. We had no rescues. Now that could change. We have more rain in the forecast, not only tomorrow, but into next week.
Again, officials are advising people to avoid traveling and driving through these conditions. They say, turn around, don't drown. Several shelters have also been opened up in these communities. And for more information and on the shelters, visit our website at bakersfieldnow.com. Reporting live by Highway 178, Leslie Molina, Eyewitness News.
Okay, we've had plenty of moisture and lots of precipitation across much of the area, all due to this, this plume of moisture coming up from the southwest. There it is, coming up. We call it the Pineapple Express. Sometimes we call it an atmospheric river. And right now, it looks like we do have a little bit of activity beginning to develop just to the north of Bakersfield. You can kind of see it right there. It's moving into the Lake Isabella area. We're going to see a little bit more of that as we go through the overnight time frame into tomorrow. Right now, cloudy and 60 degrees with 86% humidity. Very good air quality and light winds right now. And temperatures range from 58 to 61 here in the South Valley, fairly homogeneous. Same thing up the mountains, 44 to 50 degrees and 53 degrees in Lake Isabella right now. So through tonight and probably well through this weekend, major flooding will continue in the Kernville area due to the rapid snow melt and the status of the Kern River, which is way out of its banks. Right now 60, and here you can see the dew points are just a little bit below that, so we're getting a lot of thick humidity condensing into clouds and some sprinkles right now. About a 20% chance for rain overnight, but that increases to 40% tomorrow with a chance for thunderstorms. In the Kern County mountains, just a 20% probability, but up to 60% chance for some showers and isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. And we have got some rain right now in the Lake Isabella area. That's going to continue tonight, 40% probability, ramping up to 70%. By about noon tomorrow, with temperatures generally in the 50s. So kind of humid, with some thunderstorms around, more rain. That's the last thing we need. We'll talk more about all this coming up in just a few minutes. Rochelle, back to you.
All right, thank you, Miles. And with every strong storm comes a concern of power outages. Eyewitness News reporter Celine Stevens spoke with a couple of utility companies today to learn more about what they've been doing to try and keep the lights on. Celine.
Rochelle, despite the intense rainfall and windy conditions in some areas, the good news is that power outages in Kern County haven't been a major problem. The utility companies I spoke with today say it all comes down to preparation, but they're also saying we're not completely out of the woods yet.
We could see impacts from this event for the next several days.
All the rain, winds, and melting snow are leading to many problems here in Kern County that will last through this weekend.
So you have rain falling on top of heavy accumulations of snow. It's going to increase the weight of that snow, increase the potential for damage.
Pacific Gas and Electric Company says one concern is that added weight taking down trees, which could bring down power lines, leading to a dangerous situation. Luckily, despite the intense conditions, power outages haven't been a big problem locally. While there have been some outages, it hasn't been excessive, but PG&E and SoCal Edison are still on high alert.
We are pre-deploying our crews in those areas that we expect to be affected the most by this heavy rain. So we have been able to strategically position our crews here in the Central Valley, in the Kern County area, and near the Sierra.
SoCal Edison says since the last storm that closed major highways due to snow throughout Kern County, they've had their equipment stationed in locations it needs to be, so outages can be handled quickly. They're also supporting PG&E as other areas along the Central Coast in their service area are getting hit harder.
So the idea with mutual aid is not that we don't necessarily have the crews to do the work, but we want the work done as quickly as possible so our customers can be restored.
Both companies say their customers' safety is their top priority. While you should always look out for downed power lines and report outages, you also need to look out for what isn't easily visible.
Lines could be buried beneath debris, so we encourage them to exercise as much caution as they can when they're outside, when they're near power lines. Situational awareness is so important.
Of course, if you see a downed power line, the most important and safest thing you can do is stay away from it and call 911. With more storms on the way, both companies say they're going to continue monitoring weather conditions and stay ready for what's next. Live in Studio B, Celine Stevens, Eyewitness News.
And for more stories like these, you can follow us on air and online at bakersfieldnow.com. You can also download our app and get news directly to your phone.
The man convicted of killing Cal Poly student Kristen Smart, who vanished from the San Luis Obispo campus more than 2 decades ago, has been sentenced today to 25 years to life in prison. Paul Flores was found guilty of first-degree murder last October. The case started when Smart disappeared after going to a party where Flores was present. Flores was the last person to have seen Smart alive. A judge in Monterey County read the punishment today, calling Flores a cancer to society. The judge has also rejected requests from the defense to acquit Flores and order a new trial.
As the judge pointed out, it's a sentence, but it doesn't bring back your loved one. So from that aspect, we don't have closure.
The body of Smart, who was 19 years old when she disappeared in 1996, has never been found. In 2002, she was declared legally dead.
The Kern County Probation Department arrested a 44-year-old man for allegedly having 17 guns along with live ammo and drugs. Officers responded to a house call on Delwood Avenue and searched the home of Oscar Flores. That's where they found those guns, including assault rifles and shotguns. Officers also found gun manufacturing equipment and cocaine. Flores was arrested for various gun and gang-related charges.
Coming up here on Eyewitness News at 11, the latest jobs report is out. What it means for the state of our economy going forward.
And the largest bank to fail since 2008 financial crisis, and it all happened in just 48 hours. Now customers are concerned.
Today, the February jobs report came out in light of recent comments by the Fed chair anticipating higher than expected interest rate hikes. Some warn it's clear a recession is coming.
Didi Gatton joins us now with a look at the data we have so far and what we can expect.
A hot or tight labor market means employers have more open positions than workers to fill them. That's where we are right now, according to the Fed chair. And it's created concerns bigger rate hikes are coming.
With inflation well above our longer run goal of 2%, and with the labor market remaining extremely tight, the FOMC has continued to tighten the stance of monetary policy, raising interest rates by 4.5 percentage points over the past year.
A just released Labor Department survey shows the number of job openings in the U.S. fell to 10.8 million in January, and that's down from December, but still a lot of unfilled jobs, according to experts. We got a different perspective from the ADP National Employment Report, also out this week. It shows private employers added more than 200,000 jobs in February. Both of these reports are important because they paint a picture of the state of the labor market.
There's wide agreement among economists, which is a fairly rare thing, that the economy may be teetering on recession. So now businesses are looking forward, and that's impacting hiring and layoff decisions today.
The small business world, the 50 employers or less, actually lost 61,000 jobs. So I think we're already seeing a change in the marketplace. And because it's hit the small business community so hard, I do think that's going to spiral from there.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said this week the central bank is prepared to increase the pace of rate hikes. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Gatton.
A dark cloud of uncertainty is hanging over the banking industry after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. It lends money to some of the biggest names in the tech world. It's the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history. Customers lined up today waiting in the rain to withdraw their money, but were told they could return on Monday and withdraw up to $250,000.
We had more than 250 in this in SVB.
How concerned are you? How worried?
I'm pretty concerned.
The collapse all happened in just 48 hours when the bank surprised investors, saying it needed to raise more than $2 billion in capital to offset losses from bond sales. That triggered a panic among the bank's clients, who started rapidly withdrawing money. California regulators have now seized control of the lender.
AAA says despite a recent rise in gas prices, those prices could fall soon. While the national average rose 9 cents this week, both demand for gas and global oil prices are going down. More interest rate hikes for the Federal Reserve to stop a possible recession could also cause lower oil demand and economic activity.
Still to come on Eyewitness News at 11, a one-of-a-kind museum in California feeling the effects of the recent winter weather.
And it's heavy rain, melting snow, all of that is causing a lot of trouble here in Kern County. We got some rain which is beginning to develop now in the Lake Isabella area. Again, we'll talk about it coming up.
I'm Tony DeCopel. Monday on CBS Mornings, actor Christina Ricci will be with us to talk about the highly anticipated new season of Yellow Jackets, plus revisiting the Addams Family in the hit show Wednesday. That's Monday on CBS Mornings.
We here in Kern County aren't the only ones getting slammed by wicked weather. We're seeing snow and flooding in other parts of the state still impacted from the last storm, including this scene in Paso Robles, where a section of road has been completely swept away by heavy flooding.
And California may be the land of dreams, but one woman in the Sierra Nevada is watching her dream collapse. Piles of heavy snow for weeks on end caused the roof of this vintage doll museum to cave in. The building housed a special collection amassed over a lifetime. The owner and sole collector of all those dolls, Marlene Roos, says that what's been lost will be hard to be replaced. Oh, that's sad.
Snow load is what that's called. Well, back in December, we had all this rain. People said, oh, that's not enough to get rid of the drought. You know, the drought's still here. In January, we had all this rain. Is the drought over? No, we need more rain than that. Well, we've had it up to here with the rain already, and the drought, it was over. And now we need a little bit of dry weather, and maybe we'll get some on Sunday. But right now we have a little bit of a rain, which continues to develop right here in the Lake Isabella area, actually just to the north of Bakersfield. Also, way to the north, up here, you can see the lightning, a couple of lightning flashes right there. And so we're getting some convection, some instability. And also, you'll notice a lightning flash, let's see, right there, I saw it. There it is in Monterey County. So the atmosphere is rather unstable, and we could see some thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon as well. Here you can see an area of moisture just to the south of Lake Isabella, pushing through Havilah over to the Mount Paiute area, down to Lorain and Twin Oaks, and so that's where the rain is right now, and it's going to happen again. We're going to see more of that, and hopefully not a whole lot more of this sort of scene. Here's California Hot Springs. You can see all of the flooding from the melting snow and the rain combo. They get together and they create trouble. Look at all this rain that we had here. This is an update just as of a few minutes ago, nearly 6 inches of rain in Glenville. And that'll cause some flooding, no doubt. And I don't know what's happening on the 155, but there might be some areas where the roads could get washed out there. Wofford Heights, around 5 inches. This is up at Waggy Flats. And then Kernville, almost 3 inches of rain. Lake Isabel about 2 inches. Tehachapi 1 inch. You can see the hit parade here continues to go on. And this isn't chopped liver right here. We got 5200s in Wasco, so about a ½ inch of rain in the Bakersfield area. And it looks as though more rain is going to be kind of developing right here in the Lake Isabel area, where you saw it just a moment ago. That's a complicated thing. It's a little bit into the weeds, but it has to do with a thing called gravity waves. And that's why that area right there is getting all of that moisture. Right now, we are looking at temperatures in the 60s. Very constant. The temperature hasn't changed much. High today, 65. And low of 56 degrees. Just flip the numbers around. We've had about a ½ inch of rain today. Add that to yesterday's 300s. That's a little over a ½ inch of rain. Heavy snow falling on heavy rain falling on heavy snow. Not the other way around. That'd be crazy. And so here, all this rain is causing that flooding here in the Kernville area. So I took a look to see how often we have 5 consecutive wetter months. It's only happened 3 times before, but we have also had 1 year with 6 months that were consecutive, and 7 months back in 1934-35, where every month, October through April, was wetter than normal. So that's kind of where we are right now. So very wet again tomorrow. And then looks like Tuesday and Wednesday will be particularly wet with another atmospheric river. So rain is going to be diminishing, but the flooding is going to continue. The next rain event, another ½ inch, and in the mountains up to about 3. We'll be back with the temperatures right after this.
Universal Urgent Care is now offering COVID vaccine treatment services, telemedicine, and rapid COVID testing. Visit any of our 3 locations, minimal wait time, open 7 days a week. Universal Urgent Care. Patient care is our passion.
It's 60 in Bakersfield right now, 50 in the mountains in Tehachapi, 100% humidity, plenty of humidity around here, and you can see how much rain has fallen in Porterville, 169. Over here in the San Luis Obispo area, 164, over 2 inches in Santa Barbara, and nearly an inch down in LA. So it continues to be very wet. And with all this moisture coming in, that's not going to change. We're going to see a little bit of a break, though, I think, especially on Sunday, as the southern stream takes a little bit of a break, but it's going to be with us for a while here. You can see, here's the big picture. It shows that another low pressure system comes through right there. That's Tuesday, the next chance for significant rain. A little bit of a break after that, and then we're going to be seeing maybe some more rain along about a week from Sunday or Monday, the way this is looking right here. So more rain. We're not done with the rain just yet. 69 for a high tomorrow, 71 the next day, and a pretty good chance for rain coming up again on Tuesday and Wednesday. The flood flag flying on Tuesday and Wednesday. Same thing in the mountains. Of course, the snow level is going to be sky high, but it will come down on Wednesday to about 4,500 feet. More flooding rains. And of course, in the Kern River Valley, that's where all of the focus is. We have action days here, and it's an emergency situation probably through Wednesday of next week. And more rain. Hopefully a little bit of a break on Sunday and Monday. We'll be back with sports and Greg Kerr right after this.
Now Eyewitness News Sports with Greg Kerr.
And a good Friday to you. Hope you're doing well. The Chicago Bears reportedly pulling the trigger to trade the #1 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Trading down to pick up some draft capital and more, and they need it. The proposed deal has the Bears agreeing to send the #1 overall pick to the Carolina Panthers, one of many teams in the market for a starting quarterback. And here's a breakdown of that trade. The Bears will receive veteran receiver DJ Moore, a first, the 9th pick overall, and a second, the 61st overall in this year's draft. They also receive a first-round pick in 2024, a second-round pick in 2025. In return, the Panthers move up 8 spots to be in position to pick the quarterback they covet the most. Bakersfield Condors beginning the night in 6th place. Top 7 teams make the playoffs. 8th place, San Jose, just 5 points behind the Condors in town for the first of back-to-back games. Let's take you to Mechanics Bank Arena. Condors in an early 1-0 hole in this one. James Hamblin trying to get an equalizer here. It's going to be tripped up by the goalie Aaron Dell. No call here. Still 1-0. Later first period, Barracuda on a power play. They seem to be on a power play all night long. Jeffrey Vale on the doorstep. It's 2-0 San Jose after 1. Second period, here come the Barracuda. And again, it's Vale with his second goal of the night. And suddenly, it is 3-0 San Jose. Just 4 minutes later, Vale, number 63 there with 2 goals in his pocket, is going to get a third. Again, on the doorstep on yet another power play as San Jose blanks the Condors 4-0. Same 2 teams tomorrow night. Rain washing out tonight's first game of a 3-game series between the Runners and Ohio State. They'll try to play 2 tomorrow. Game 1 will be at 3 p.m. They'll play a single game on Sunday. The Big West basketball tournament, the women's semifinals featuring seeds 2, 3, 4, and 9. The outlier, the 9th-seeded CSUB Roadrunners. The Runners with a 3rd consecutive noon tip-off going up against UC Santa Barbara. Speaking of the Dollar Loan Center, where Miles Boynes has been there all week long. First quarter, Alexis Tucker, the step back. She knocks it down. Gauchos an early 10-point lead. Then, second quarter, Tucker again driving the lane, 24-17 at this point. Alexis Tucker one more time. She had 19 in the first half. The Runners trailing 36-25 at the break. Third quarter, Runners come alive. Taylor Caldwell, the BHS product. Taking it coast to coast, spin move here, putting it up and in off glass. That made it a 2-point game. Next possession, Taylor with the steal, and she'll go the distance, and suddenly we are tied 38-38. That's when the Gauchos answer. Alyssa Moran with the 3. It's 41-38. Late third, Runners down 2 again. Henny Van Schaik, the lefty, gets the bounce, tied at 44. Gauchos back in the lead, and guess who? Alexis Tucker. She had 28 points, got the shooter's bounce. Santa Barbara knocking off the Runners 75-66. And so one final time, we send it to our Miles Boynes, courtside in Henderson, Nevada, to wrap things up. Miles?
Greg, when it comes down to it, it was a battle of efficiency that UCSB won, shooting 49% opposed to CSUB's 40%. The Runners' historic season comes to an end, but there is a silver lining. This is the furthest CSUB women's basketball has gotten into the Big West tournament, and the players and coaches reflect on what a time it's been.
They withstood all of our runs. They did everything they needed to do to hit some big shots. Even when we tied it up, I was like, we got them. But they hit another big shot. They kept hitting big shots. The ball was just bouncing their way today.
I think for us to come out here and making it to the Final Four, like, we really proved ourselves, and I'm so proud of my teammates.
We faced a lot of adversity, but it was surreal for me and exciting to just play in front of my family and friends and to play with my teammates and compete with them every day in practice and in games.
The Runners' historic Big West Conference tournament run comes to an end in the semifinals. The furthest CSUB women's basketball has gotten into this tournament. Meanwhile, UCSB will be playing in the finals on Saturday. Toss it back to you, Greg, in the studio, reporting at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Miles Boynes, Eyewitness News Sports.
So the Runners come up short. Meanwhile, Hawaii will meet UC Santa Barbara as they win the other half of the bracket. So win tomorrow, the ticket to the NCAA tournament. The men's semifinals, Fullerton upsets top-seeded Irvine 83-80, and Santa Barbara, 92-87 win over Riverside. Wrap things up with the Pac-12 semifinals. UCLA and Oregon. Jaquez off the inbound, knocking that one down. But the night belonged to Tiger Campbell. He had 28 points, and the Bruins cruise into the finals as they win by a final of 75-66. Lakers win again. They win 122-112 over the Raptors. And we got Selection Sunday coming up this weekend. We'll see who's going to be in the tournament.
All right, we will. Selection Sunday.
Looking forward to it.
All right, we'll be right back.
Finally at 11, here's a view you won't find anywhere on Earth. This is a sunset on Mars. NASA's Curiosity rover snapped this postcard-worthy pic. It's the first time rays of sunlight have been so clearly seen on the red planet. The NASA rover has been roaming across the surface of Mars for more than 10 years.
Interesting. Kind of looks like our skies out there today. A little cloudy, and maybe a little chance of rain. I don't know.
Yeah, but a beautiful shot nonetheless. Always some of the best photos you can find are from these rovers out there on space.
Yep. Well, that's going to do it for us here at 11 o'clock, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.
And please stay safe out there in the rain.
Good night.